We are Group 4. I'm Will. This is Hunter, Jenna, Maggie, and Kyla. Today we're going to discuss competitors, market opportunities, target markets, traditional advertisement, e-active marketing, alternative media programs, sales promotions, and sponsorships. Trigger's competitors consist of Tostitos, Ortega, Taco Bell, Old Paso, and Chi-Chi's. These are the top-selling salsa brands in the United States. In order for Triggers to compete with these brands, they must increase advertising and get the word of mouth spread. And now Kyla will talk to you about target marketing.
Companies can't do all things for every customer, so narrowing the target market will help Triggers stay clear of targeting to audiences that waste time targeting to. So Triggers needs to narrow their target market to reach their core customer. The core customer is the customer who will spend more money and consume more of the product. And by targeting to women, statistics are showing that men are spending more than in the past, but women are still the main spenders when it comes to shopping. However, men may consume more of the product, women are the majority of the shoppers. And the Generation X are the age range 29 to 51. The book says that Generation X are customers who spend more on food, transportation, and housing products. So by targeting to Generation X will help him with this target market. And Jenna is going to talk about market opportunities.
Okay, for market opportunities, we thought for Triggers it'd be great if they got into the fresh market. They pride themselves on the quality of food they provide for their customers. And when I look at Triggers, that's exactly what I think. They have the best quality out of, like, what I think Tostitos. And if their products are gluten-free, all natural, low in sodium and sugar, if they can sample in the fresh market, they can display their products, let people try them, and also build a relationship with new customers and also keep the ones with existing customers. For Food City, just by having all their flavors available instead of having some at Walgreens and then only a couple at Food City, this will make it more convenient for their customers so they don't have to drive around searching for each flavor. And then for festivals, there are a lot of local festivals that they can sample at and just be a part of. Here in Johnson City, Blue Plum is a big one. And if they set up a canopy tent, also just display their product, and they can also build their relationships with new and existing customers. And the Blue Plum is just not for college kids. A lot of families are also going to Blue Plum, excuse me. And here we decided for their truck ad to have a Facebook competition, and this just gets all the customers involved in their company. Rarely do they ever actually get to design an advertisement. So we thought having a contest would be a great way to get them active and also have a say in what the company does. Mr. Mason can also give out a 10% coupon for all the participants, and then winner can get the gift box, which gives them the salsas and the chili. And this also just gives him more ideas for his truck. He doesn't have to use any. But it's just a great way for him to get the customer's perspective of what they think of Triggers. And then for newspaper, this is in Johnson City Press, black and white ad. It's a 4x5 for $99 a day, and then every day after that it'll be $75. We have on here the ingredients of the salsa queso, and also we displayed all of his products and also have the Triggers face. You can do a recipe on it. You can basically do anything for a newspaper ad. And then we have where it can be located, Food City, Walgreens, hopefully the Fresh Market, and then Facebook. We want them to have their products on Facebook and also a way for them to direct traffic to the Trigger Bueller website. And now Maggie will talk to you about e-active marketing.
Basically, for that, we changed the website because the website's boring, no fun. One of the things I thought to do was be like, make Triggers into like a character and a spokesperson for the brand, and to make him into a cartoon. That way you can make games involving him, and he could be, you know, associated with the brand, like a sign below where the products are. He could be on the Facebook page, and he could also have a YouTube channel where he actually does stuff. Like he goes out and he gets into like all these, you know, problems and stuff, and he has to figure them out. So that, you know, when you think of Triggers, you'll think of this cartoon guy. And, you know, become more involved in Facebook because they don't really update it that often. Their Twitter doesn't have anything on it. They can get more involved in that. They could also start all them other social sites like the Tumblr and the Google Plus, all that. That way more people could hear of them and be more involved in the brand. For alternative marketing, buzz marketing, which basically means blogs. And you can post reviews on Facebook. That way more people will get more involved. If there's good reviews, people will be like, yeah, that's great, let's go buy it. So good reviews. And they could also have like recipes and stuff. Like a lady came through my line the other day and she said that she mixes her salsa with pasta. Who would do that? She could post that and people would be like, go out and buy it. And for guerrilla marketing, I said like instead of doing the Facebook contest for the truck, they could have like clubs and stuff like Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, stuff like that come up and actually design it, and whoever wins, you know, gets a prize. And I also have this thing called a Salsa fling, where they're going to have this tent, they're going to be sampling, they're going to have other brands, worse brands, so whoever doesn't like the salsa, they get to throw it at this target, and then whoever throws it the farthest hits the target gets a prize, because you know you're not going to fling Triggers. So. And for the lifestyle, basically, you're targeting the health conscious, people like that, older people that are worried about their health, outdoorsy people, because you can take salsa and eat it while you're outdoors. And here's Will.
Triggers can create sales promotions by the use of promotional codes and sampling. Promotional codes can be used by placing the code on the side of the delivery truck, and then people can drive and they'll see the code, and then hopefully that will entice them to go to the website to enter the code for a discount. This gets the consumer engaged with Triggers and gets them to the website, and hopefully will create brand loyalty. And then sampling can either be done either at food cities or like tailgate parties for Tennessee football games. This is a good way to create word of mouth. And also, as you give a sample away, you can give a free magnet away. And an example of that's behind Kyle's head. Right there, and then, but there's a big picture. And it can give information like all natural ingredients, gluten-free, extra low in salt and sugar, also where you can buy the product, and maybe a recipe or something along that lines.
Hunter will talk to you about sponsorships and events.
There's different events and sponsorships all around the area. Jen has already said that the Blue Plum here, but with Mr. Mason being based out of Bristol and the Bumpel area, Bristol has one of the biggest festivals in the country with rhythm and blues. And this year they did a thing called Chili Cook-Off, and he came in here and he said he's already won a chili contest, and I just think it'd be a good idea for him to enter or get his name out there, especially in the community that he lives in and works out of. And there's also women's expos in Kingsport that happen very often. As Kyla says, they're going to be pushing this product more to women than men because they do a majority of the shopping. And taste testing is and sampling is vital. I know it costs money and it's expensive, but he's struggling right now with getting his brand and his name out there. And the only way to do it is for people to try it. And when you go to these events, I designed a tent or an easy up. It's basically advertising for yourself at every event you go to. So you're not going to have to get a plain easy up or canopy or anything like that. So you can set up anything under it when you do the sampling, or if he decides to do any events or sponsorships or anything like that. We did a budget. He gave us what he said the truck was going to cost, but we researched it, called a company in Bristol, And it was $1,700 to do the sides, to wrap the sides in vinyl, and then $500 for the back door. And then the event tent that I just showed you was around $1,100. The magnets you can order two different ways. You can order them by 350 or 500, and that's what it ends up being. That's for 500, and then the newspaper adds $100 a day, just depending on how long he wants to run it or anything like that. So the budget ended up being $39.63, and the leftover could be used towards couponing and sampling and stuff like that. In conclusion, my recommendations are for him to get into grocery stores such as the Fresh Market, and he really needs to narrow his target down. It's not, I mean, it's ideal to target 8 to 80 or whatever he said, but it's just not feasible. You're wasting a lot of money in areas that you really could use money elsewhere. And then getting his truck wrapped, it's advertising, it's a billboard everywhere you go, every stop he goes. And then a big thing is updating his websites, his social media, make it more friendly for the users. And then the magnet to give out things at sampling events and stuff like that, he's got his contact information, and just trying to get his name out there. And then also the event tent, just trying to get his name out there with the struggle of getting the brand that nobody knows about. Any questions?
You said in your summary just now and then earlier about the website that I wasn't quite clear on what kind of changes you thought the website needed.
We didn't really go into a design of the website because we didn't have the means of it. I mean, I guess we could have, but we focused more time on the tent and stuff like that.
I mean, in general, what do you think it needs differently if it's, boring or whatever?
Well, a lot of it, he's focusing a lot more time on, I guess, the trigger beater himself instead of the product, which I know that's what he's going for right now. But and he directs a lot of traffic through Amazon. And if you're making more money on your website, why would you direct it to an outsource that you're going to have to pay for eventually too?
Other ideas from other people on that? Any other questions? Good job.